We have the strongest economy in the world. Our inflation rates are lower than other nations in the world.
Liar! Liar. Liar, 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 liar. What did we say when we were kids? Liar, liar, pants on fire? If that were the case, Joe Biden would have went poof, instant combustion. Let's talk about the economy and the downward spiral course that we are currently on. Joe Biden oversees right there, not just lying to Americans that everything's fine with our economy, lying to the world right there. He was on the global stage as our nation is on a collision course with a massive recession. And while he's at the NATO news conference in Spain and a reporter had the guts to ask him, oh, things aren't looking that great in America, don't you think? No. Jojo lies to the world and says, everything's fine. Everything fine for you? I'm sure some of you folks watching in your little bubble, everything's great. You got your own private company. Maybe you're selling real estate. Maybe you're into medical sales. That's going real good now. We got a good factory job where the factory is doing well and producing, unlike a lot of factories. So maybe your bubble, you're doing great. But let me tell you, millions of Americans are not doing so hot right now. And Jojo continues to lie to them while printing money and spending it like crazy, while signing executive orders and creating policy that does nothing to help the economy rebound. And I say all this because guess what? We're getting ready to send another $800 million to Ukraine. That's right. There's the title. There's the headline for you. Biden says the U.S. will send $800 million more in security aid now. So we relabeled this one. $800 million more. Again, I don't know what the grand total is. Do you? I mean, our national debt has now officially surpassed $30 trillion for the first time ever. And I got to think we're in the mid-50s, close to $60 billion now, sent over to Ukraine. All the while back here at home, and again, for you folks that aren't in a wealthy bubble, millions of Americans are dealing with skyrocketing gas prices, inflation that's out of control. The Biden regime and Democrats, literally, they just want to keep printing money and spending it like a drunken Amish teenager on Rumspringer. That's what I feel like. How about you? That's good looking. My next guest, I'm going to get this right. Adam Andrzejewski is the CEO and founder of Open the Books. I always mess his name up. In a recent report entitled, Where's the Pork? Adam maps out the waste, the fraud, the corruption, and taxpayer abuse. That's what it is. Can we claim abuse and sue our government? Adam reveals the real economic crisis facing our nation. He says federal spending is out of control. Exactly. The national debt just hit a record high. I just told you about it. The largest areas of spending are Medicare, Medicaid, $1.3 trillion. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. I want to welcome Adam back to the program. Did I get that last name right this time? Because the last few times I totally butchered it.
Dan, you nailed it. Andrzejewski.
Andrzejewski. It only took me, I think this is your third visit. It only took me 3 times, see? Third time's the charm. Okay, $30 trillion. That scares the hell out of me. Biggest debt we've ever had. Another, do you know, because you track all this and open the books, do you know what the total is to Ukraine yet? I was at $55 billion. I don't know now that he's saying we're going to do another $800 million.
So I think the total appropriation, according to news reports, is north of $60 billion. And let's put that in context, Dan. You know, Ukraine obviously is fighting the Russian invasion.
For us.
The entire military budget of Russia is about $60 billion. So we just did 1-for-1 with Ukraine, $60 billion of U.S. taxpayer money over there to combat Russia, who has a $60 billion military budget.
Wow. Yeah, because it's a proxy war. We're not going to go fight it because Biden knows the American people do not want boots on the ground fighting Ruskies right now in 2022 when his approval rating's like 30%. Even though typically a wartime president has good ratings, it would not be good for JoJo. So what do? Oh, we'll fight a proxy war. Just send all of the taxpayers' money over there and let innocent Ukrainians die while they fight Russians. Okay, so that's one bill. I got a list of stuff here I want to rip through with you. $3.6 billion in economic stimulus checks. Of that $3.6 billion, they sent some of 2.2 million dead people. That's one. $7 billion in COVID stimulus checks and small businesses. went to people that were on the do not pay list. So that's 7 bill plus 3. There's 10 bill. So much wasteful spending. Why is there no checks and balances for my money?
There's a fundamental lack of basic accounting controls in federal government. So you mentioned the 2.2 million checks cut to dead people on economic stimulus COVID aid. Everybody watching the program will remember that was the $1,200 checks that showed up in your mailbox.
Yep.
Well, this program was administered by none other than the Internal Revenue Service, the IRS, Dan.
Ugh,
And here's what happened. How do you cut checks to dead people? Well, you don't check with Social Security, who keeps the deceased persons list. The IRS didn't check the deceased persons list before they cut the check. Why have a deceased persons list if you don't check it?
Yeah.
$3.6 billion of U.S. taxpayer abuse just on that decision alone.
Well, wait, it gets worse, folks. $282 billion of our money was wasted on what they're calling mistaken or improper payments related to COVID relief. So was this to the individual states and citizens, or this is overall citizens, states, businesses, whatever? $282 billion was spent improperly, it says, or mistakenly.
So that's what, incredibly, is a staggering number. The 20 largest federal agencies admitted to last year. They're forced every single year to report their mistaken and improper payments. And at openthebooks.com, we only ask one question. What government program is running well? Well, it can't be the 20 largest federal programs. As you just mentioned, they just admitted to nearly $300 billion worth of mistaken payments, improper payments, payments to the wrong person or under the wrong set of rules, or payments in the wrong amount. It is staggering, institutionalized incompetence.
I'm glad that your organization tracks this stuff. Folks, Adam's been doing this for years. Go to their website, look at where your money's being spent, then get outraged like me and everyone else that reads this, and then get a hold of your member of Congress or senator and raise hell. As we leave you, because they're giving me the hard rap, I got to throw two of these ridiculous ones out. $487,000, folks, for them to do studies turning male monkeys into transgender monkeys, and $465,000 of your dollars teaching pigeons to gamble as part of a behavioral study on economics. What in the hell are these elected people doing with our money? I'm done right now with the interview because I'm going to say something to get me in big trouble. Adam Andrzejewski, thank you for coming on. Keep the books open. Keep the heat on. Expose these corrupt politicians in D.C. that are wasting our money. We appreciate you, Adam. Take care.
Thank you.
Yep.